Dr. Hariri, ladies and gentlemen, I'm truly honored and privileged to have been invited to speak at this extremely crucial conference on the reconstruction of Iran. I sincerely thank the sponsors for inviting me to speak today about a unique multilateral organization. The Multilateral Investment Guarantee Agency of the World Bank Group is the organization that was created in 1985, also known as MIGA. And it is an integral organization of the World Bank Group. I had enormous privilege and honor of having been associated with MIGA for nearly 21 years as one of its first employees and retired from MIGA in 2010. Today, however, I address you in my private capacity. My views are entirely my own and should not be considered as a promotion, marketing of, or as a representative of MIGA. When one speaks about reconstruction of a nation, inevitably its largest component is the reconstruction of the economy. A productive and enabling economy will necessarily require robust private investments operating in a minimized risk environment and also backed up by an equally predictable and transparent regulatory system that supports such an environment. It is the first aspect of minimizing the risk environment for foreign direct investment that characterizes MIGA's operations. MIGA was created through the adoption in 1985 by the then members of the World Bank and Switzerland of a multilateral convention, the convention establishing the Multilateral Investment Guarantee Agency. Article 2 of the convention states clearly the objective of MIGA, which shall be to encourage the flow of investments for productive purposes among member countries, and in particularly to developing member countries, thus supplementing the activities of the World Bank and the International Finance Corporation. In order to achieve this objective, Article 2A instructs the agency, among other things, to issue guarantees against non-commercial risks in respect of investments which flow from one member country to another. So MIGA really functions as a multilateral insurance agency dedicated to provide non-commercial or political risk insurance in the industry known as PRI to foreign investors to mitigate political risks for their investments. Under PRI, MIGA offers investors insurance coverage, which is referred to as guarantees in the convention, against losses resulting from the risks of expropriation or nationalization, currency transfer, breach of contract, and war and civil disturbance. To mature into a claim, the losses must be attributable to the acts or omissions of the host government. The risks are iterated in Article 11 of the Convention. Briefly, the risk of expropriation covers any legislative or administrative action or omission attributable to the host government, which has the effect of depriving the investor, or in other words, the holder of the insurance policy, of the ownership of, or control of, or substantial benefit from the investment. Excluded from cover are non-discriminatory acts of the government, which are of a general application for regulating economic activity. The currency transfer risk covers any enactment by the host government of restrictions on the conversion and transfer outside or externalization of foreign currency which had been converted from the local currency. The guarantee does not cover depreciation of the host government currency, which is considered a commercial risk. The guarantee surrounding a breach of contract attributable to the host government follows classic international law principles. The guarantee covers losses incurred by the guarantee holder where the host government has A, breached a contract with the guarantee holder, and B, the guarantee holder is unable to enforce an arbitral award against the government. In law, this is typically considered a denial of justice. Finally, the guarantee of war and civil disturbance covers any losses due to military actions or civil disturbance attributable to the host government within its territory. The convention gives MIGA the flexibility to add other commercial risks by special majority of MIGA's board of directors. And MIGA does have the possibility of adding nuanced non-commercial risks to its risk portfolio over the years, and they have done so. MIGA can issue guarantees for most types of investments, such as equity interest, standalone debt, including medium and long-term debt, structured finance through issuance of bonds, and investments in the form of technology. The investments can be in any sector of the domestic economy. From any standard, MIGA's growth and maturity have been phenomenal. When MIGA started operations in April 1988, after the requisite number of member countries had subscribed to its shares, the capital value of which amounted to US $1 billion, until last fiscal year 2024, it has kept a record pace in fulfilling its development mandate. From a few $100 million of coverage in its beginning years, last fiscal year, 2024, MIGA issued a record $8.2 billion in new guarantees for investments across its developing member countries, facilitating financing of some $9 billion of sustainable development projects. There are several reasons for this success. First, and importantly, is that MIGA, while an independent multilateral organization, is closely integrated with the World Bank. This close link with the World Bank provides a unique level of leverage and influence over MIGA's member states. This high degree of leverage enables MIGA's quick intervention to avoid any conduct by the host state to adversely affect projects that are guaranteed by MIGA, and which may result in an insurance claim on MIGA. Second, all projects for which guarantees are to be issued by MIGA are also approved by the host government ex ante. Third, all projects are viewed and underwritten thoroughly by MIGA on a purely technical basis as to their development impact and conformity with the host country's regulatory system. These processes and procedures therefore effectively depoliticizes the transactions. Iran has been a member of MIGA since December 2003. MIGA extended coverage for a joint venture investment project, the Mayer petrochemical project in 2015 in Iran, to cover the US $122.2 million joint venture investment sponsored by Thai and Japanese investors. Since then, due primarily to the sanctions imposed on Iran, requests for MIGA guarantees for investments have been inactive. There is absolutely no question that Iran is one of the most globally resourceful countries, and the potential for FDI into the country is very high. The comparative advantages Iran have are equally significant. In my personal opinion, some key foundational elements must precede to enable MIGA to become active in supporting FDI into Iran. Very respectfully, Iran must make the necessary policy changes to re-engage with the World Bank and the International Monetary Fund and the multilateral development banks, and take the necessary domestic measures to strengthen its fiscal and monetary regimes. This would signal, among other factors, confidence in the private capital markets. Iran must also change and strengthen its regulatory framework so that laws and regulations that are applicable to foreign investments are predictable, consistent, and transparent. Finally, Iran must continue to conclude bilateral investment treaties with other states. It has already concluded close to 50 bilateral investment treaties. They are critical because state parties agree to international arbitration to resolve investment disputes. I'm certain that all of the above factors that would create an enabling economy in Iran will be addressed in detail by my other colleagues in the various panels. With such a spirited initiative as that taken at this conference, it is my hope that there will be a resurgence of interest globally to bring investments into Iran. It is also my hope that such an environment will be crucial to MIGA's engagement in Iran. I will conclude these remarks with a message of hope, as beautifully stated in one of my favorite movies of all time, The Shawshank Redemption. Hope is a good thing. It may be the best of things, and no good thing ever dies. Thank you, and I await to respond to any questions during the question and answer sessions.